Have you ever felt that simply standing in the presence of certain people makes the air shift, as if an invisible shield of light rises around them, untouchable and undeniable? What if I told you that some souls, guided by the wisdom of the stars, carry within them an energy so rare and so elevated that no shadow, no malice, no form of darkness can remain when they arrive? This is not just a story. It is a revelation that touches the essence of your own spirit. Tonight, we are going to unveil the 7 signs chosen by the cosmos to repel evil with nothing more than their very existence, their very vibration, their very being. And I want you to listen with an open heart, because one of these signs may be yours, and in recognizing it, you will feel the truth resonating in your soul. Energy is not seen by the eyes, but it is felt deep within the skin, in the heart, in the silence between words. Every person carries an aura, a field that either invites or rejects, that either attracts or protects. Some carry energy that repels fear, envy, manipulation, and even the coldest intentions. In astrology, these signs rise above the common plane of existence, shining with a purity and power that acts like a spiritual fortress. They are not chosen by chance. They are shaped by the elements, by fire, by earth, by air, by water, and their mission is to hold light where others see only shadow. I invite you to stay with me until the end, because what I am about to share may not only reveal your own hidden strength, but also awaken a power that perhaps you have always felt but never named. Think for a moment about the moments in life when you sensed something invisible guiding you away from harm, when you felt an inner knowing that protected you, when you realized that your presence alone was enough to silence negativity. That is the kind of energy we are about to explore, and you may see yourself reflected in it. The universe speaks in symbols, and astrology is one of its most ancient languages. Within this language, certain signs have been gifted with the role of protectors, light-bearers, and guardians of truth. Their energy is not just personal, it is archetypal, timeless, and unshakable. Evil cannot approach what vibrates too high, and these signs are the living proof that when you walk in alignment with your soul, shadows are powerless against you. So listen carefully, because as we move deeper, you may discover that the shield of protection you have been searching for has always been within you. Before we begin to unveil these signs, write in the comments, "I carry the light within me," because this affirmation opens the doorway to receiving what the universe wants to remind you tonight. Sign number 1 is Leo, the radiant flame that turns darkness into daylight. Imagine the moment the sun rises after a long night. Shadows flee, silence breaks, and warmth touches the earth again. That is what Leo carries in their soul. Their aura is not just fire, it is brilliance, a golden presence that cannot be ignored. Evil feeds on weakness, but Leo shines with courage so strong that it burns away fear before it can even take root. When Leo steps into any space, they do not need to speak loudly, for their very presence commands the atmosphere, bringing clarity where confusion tried to reign. Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun does not ask permission to shine. It simply rises and fills the world with light. That is the sacred gift of this sign. People who stand near Leo often feel protected, as though a shield has been placed over them. This is not only charisma, it is spiritual fire, a light that illuminates hidden truths and exposes shadows that thought they could remain unseen. Evil trembles before this energy, because deception cannot survive under direct light. Leo's energy is direct, proud, and unafraid, carrying the strength of divine truth that pushes away anything impure. But there is more. Leo's heart is as powerful as their light. Generosity flows through them like a river that never runs dry. Where others close themselves in fear, Leo opens wide with loyalty and compassion. Their love is not fragile, it is fierce, like a lion guarding its pride. That combination of love and courage is what makes evil powerless. Darkness can manipulate coldness. It can twist fear, but it cannot withstand a spirit that shines with love and refuses to yield. This is the hidden strength of Leo. A heart on fire with devotion, a heart that transforms even despair into hope. Every Leo walks through life like a beacon on a hill, visible from far away, guiding others with their inner fire. The challenges they face are not meant to break them, but to prove that even storms cannot extinguish their flame. Evil tries to whisper lies, but Leo answers with truth that roars louder than deception. This is why, time and time again, Leo is called the protector, the guardian of light, and the one who reminds the world that even in the darkest night, dawn is inevitable. Sign number 2 is Scorpio, the guardian of mysteries, the soul that does not step away from the shadows, but enters them with fearless eyes. Scorpio is not afraid of what others run from. Instead, they walk directly into the silence of the unknown, into the depth where fears hide, and they see through it all. This gift makes them untouchable to the energy of evil, because darkness cannot deceive the one who is already familiar with its face. Their intuition is so sharp, so piercing, that lies collapse before they are even spoken. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation, death, and rebirth. This cosmic influence gives them the rare ability to transmute poison into strength. What was meant to harm them becomes the very fuel that pushes them forward. Evil, which thrives on corruption, cannot settle in Scorpio's space because they instinctively dismantle it, stripping away its disguise and revealing its emptiness. It is as if Scorpio carries a spiritual mirror, and in that mirror, any falsehood shatters. Their energy does not only repel, it also transforms, and that makes them one of the most powerful protectors in the Zodiac. What makes Scorpio even more extraordinary is their silence. They do not need to raise their voice to prove their strength. Their stillness is enough to unsettle whatever carries hidden intentions. This silence is not weakness, it is control, it is mastery of self. Evil often seeks to provoke, but Scorpio does not give away their power. They remain steady, grounded in their awareness, and this alone causes negative energy to lose its grip. It is like trying to fight against deep waters. The deeper you go, the more resistance you meet. Scorpio is that ocean depth where evil cannot breathe. At the core of Scorpio is loyalty, devotion, and an unshakable sense of protection for those they love. This fierce guardianship is another reason why evil avoids them. To betray or harm in the presence of Scorpio is to awaken their inner fire, a fire that burns away deceit without mercy. Their protective nature turns them into spiritual warriors, always ready to shield the ones who walk beside them. Their energy is like a circle of fire and water at the same time, consuming darkness while washing away its residue. This duality is the essence of their sacred power. Scorpio carries the energy of endings that bring beginnings, of breaking down so that something purer can rise again. They repel evil not by denying its existence, but by facing it head-on and reminding it that transformation is stronger than destruction. Their presence reminds us that fear cannot win when courage is born from within, and that even the darkest night must surrender to the dawn. Sign number 3 is Virgo, the sacred flame of clarity that cuts through confusion and brings light to the hidden corners where evil tries to hide. Virgo is not loud, nor do they seek the center of the stage, but their energy carries a purity so refined that it unsettles anything that is false. Imagine a crystal so clear that even the smallest shadow becomes visible within it. That is Virgo. Their gift is perception, and it is this gift that makes them an impenetrable shield to any force that thrives in deception. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the planet of the mind, of communication, and of wisdom. This influence sharpens their awareness, giving them the ability to see patterns where others see only chaos. Evil depends on confusion, but Virgo untangles the threads and restores order. Where manipulation attempts to twist the truth, Virgo notices the smallest inconsistency and brings it to light. Their intuition does not come from fantasy, but from a deep attention to detail that few possess. This makes their energy unapproachable to shadows that wish to remain unseen. There is also a spiritual discipline within Virgo that cannot be overlooked. Their connection to purity is not about perfection in a shallow sense, but about a higher devotion to truth, to healing, and to what is real. They often carry a quiet devotion to service, and this devotion creates an invisible armor. Evil struggles to approach those who act from selfless intention, because such intention vibrates on a level too high to be touched. Virgo embodies this vibration, reminding us that sacredness is found in the small and consistent acts of integrity. Virgo's power lies in their ability to cleanse. They are like a stream of fresh water moving through a place that has become stagnant. Negative energies are forced to move on, unable to remain where clarity and order flow so naturally. This cleansing is not only for themselves, but also extends to those who are close to them. To stand near Virgo is to feel the weight of confusion lift, as if something inside you remembers its original shape and purpose. Evil cannot endure this restoration, because it dismantles the very foundation it tries to build. At the heart of Virgo is wisdom wrapped in humility. They do not boast about their shield, nor do they declare their strength, but their essence itself reveals it. They are like a lantern carried through a dark forest, modest yet indispensable. With Virgo, evil does not find an opening, because their light is steady, constant, and precise. They are the keepers of sacred order, the protectors who repel darkness simply by holding on to truth with unshakable devotion. Sign number 4 is Pisces, the ocean of compassion that dissolves darkness without ever needing to fight it directly. When you think of Pisces, imagine the vast sea at dawn, calm yet infinite, powerful, in a way that no boundary can contain. This sign carries a spiritual frequency so fluid and so elevated that evil cannot find anything to hold on to. Darkness depends on fear, but Pisces vibrates with faith, empathy, and unconditional love. It is this love that forms their shield, soft on the surface yet unstoppable in its strength. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, spirituality, and the invisible currents that move beneath our awareness. This influence gives Pisces a unique gift. They sense energy that others do not. They feel the hidden motives, the unseen intentions, and the unspoken emotions. Evil cannot hide in their presence, because they intuitively recognize what is false, and instead of resisting it with force, they let their compassion wash it away. Like waves erasing footprints in the sand, Pisces clears the residue of negativity, leaving only purity behind. What makes Pisces extraordinary is their ability to transform vulnerability into power. Many might mistake their sensitivity as weakness, but in truth, sensitivity is their greatest weapon. While evil thrives in hardness and cruelty, Pisces disarms it with gentleness and mercy. Their presence reminds others of the higher truths that cannot be corrupted: kindness, forgiveness, and connection to the divine. Darkness loses its strength when confronted with such qualities, because these are vibrations it cannot endure. Pisces also carries an otherworldly wisdom, as though their soul has traveled through lifetimes and gathered knowledge from beyond this world. Their energy reaches beyond the material, touching the unseen, and this connection makes them a living channel of spiritual light. Evil struggles to even approach this vibration because it resonates too closely to the essence of creation itself. Standing with Pisces feels like being embraced by eternity, and that eternal embrace leaves no space for fear to survive. At their core, Pisces are healers. Whether through words, presence, or silent empathy, They restore balance to the hearts around them. They repel evil by reminding others of their own light, by awakening compassion where hatred tried to take root, and by keeping faith alive where despair tried to settle. They are the ocean that cleanses, the tide that renews, and the gentle yet powerful current that darkness cannot resist. Sign number 5 is Capricorn, the mountain of discipline and endurance that evil cannot move. Picture a peak rising above the clouds, unmoved by storms, standing firm through centuries of wind and rain. That is Capricorn. Their energy is solid, grounded, and unwavering, creating a presence that evil cannot penetrate. Darkness thrives on weakness, but Capricorn radiates strength, a strength that is not just physical but spiritual, built through patience, resilience, and a sense of unshakable purpose. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of time, wisdom, and discipline. This influence gifts Capricorn with a power that is steady and lasting. They are not easily distracted, nor are they easily deceived. Evil often tries to sneak in through temptation or impulsive desire, but Capricorn's disciplined spirit is like a fortress. Their energy does not allow easy access, for they have mastered the art of boundaries, and within those boundaries, their spirit remains untouchable. Their ability to wait, to endure, to climb slowly but surely toward their vision makes them impossible to defeat. There is something deeply spiritual about Capricorn's endurance. It is not only about worldly success or ambition, it is about carrying the wisdom of persistence. Evil grows restless when it cannot break someone quickly, and Capricorn teaches that true power is not in rushing but in standing tall when others would collapse. Their patience itself is a weapon, a quiet defiance that repels anything born of chaos or deceit. Where others fall under pressure, Capricorn becomes even stronger, proving that no shadow can last forever against the power of endurance. Capricorn also carries a sacred responsibility. They are often the ones others lean on when times are uncertain. Their presence provides structure, stability, and a sense of safety that dissolves fear. Evil cannot survive in spaces where people feel grounded and protected, and Capricorn naturally creates this environment. Their leadership, whether spoken or silent, uplifts others and builds a foundation of trust that shields entire groups from negativity. They do not need to declare their strength, for it is evident in every action, in every step that refuses to falter. At the heart of Capricorn is a soul that understands time itself as an ally. They know that no darkness lasts forever, and with steady perseverance, the light always wins. This wisdom makes them immune to despair and immune to the tricks of evil, which relies on fear of the present moment. Capricorn looks beyond the immediate, toward the higher truth, and in that vision lies their true power. They are the mountain that teaches us that light cannot be moved by storms, and that strength built with patience is a shield no shadow can ever break. Sign number 6 is Sagittarius, the eternal seeker, the archer who points their arrow of truth directly into the heart of deception. Sagittarius carries within them a fire that is not only passionate, but also sacred, a flame that cannot be extinguished by shadows. Their energy is adventurous and boundless, always expanding to new horizons, and it is this expansion that makes evil powerless against them. Darkness thrives in confinement, but Sagittarius refuses to be confined. Their spirit is wild, free, and always guided to higher truths that expose and scatter falsehood. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, abundance, and divine justice. This influence fills them with an energy of optimism and faith that naturally repels negativity. Evil feeds on despair and fear, but Sagittarius laughs in its face, carrying an almost unshakable belief that light will always prevail. Their joy becomes their armor, their laughter becomes their shield, and their truth becomes their weapon. No shadow can endure when confronted with such unrelenting confidence in the goodness of life and the power of higher vision. What makes Sagittarius unique is their ability to transform even the darkest situation into an opportunity for growth. They do not allow challenges to consume them. Instead, they search for the lesson, for the spark of wisdom hidden inside difficulty. Evil cannot survive in an environment where growth is constant, because growth is the natural path to light. Sagittarius reminds everyone around them that expansion and transformation are unstoppable, that the universe always bends toward wisdom, and that no shadow can contain the soul that is meant to fly. Their words are another gift. Sagittarius often carries a voice that speaks truth so directly that lies fall apart on contact. It is as if every word they speak is an arrow, sharpened by clarity and conviction. Where evil tries to confuse, Sagittarius speaks with a certainty that brings understanding. Where manipulation tries to twist reality, Sagittarius restores the path by reminding us of universal truths. Their communication is not only mental, but spiritual, guided by a higher light that few can deny. At the core of Sagittarius lies an unstoppable love for freedom. They were not made to be chained by fear or by darkness, and this rejection of all forms of bondage makes them untouchable to evil. Their spirit soars beyond limitations, reminding us that truth, joy, and vision are stronger than deception, despair, and confinement. They are the arrow, always flying toward the horizon, carrying with them the certainty that light is not just possible, but inevitable. Sign number 7 is Aquarius, the lightning of freedom, the visionary soul that carries electricity in their spirit and revolution in their breath. To be near Aquarius is to feel the air charged with something unpredictable, something uncontainable, something that evil cannot comprehend. Darkness thrives on control, on repetition, on patterns that chain people in fear. But Aquarius was born to break chains, to rewrite patterns, and to bring liberation where there was once oppression. Their energy is like a sudden storm that clears the sky, striking down illusions in a flash of light. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, the planet of innovation, awakening, and sudden change. This influence makes their aura electric and impossible to pin down. Evil attempts to manipulate with rigidity, but Aquarius is the opposite of rigidity. They are fluid yet powerful, rebellious yet wise, and their vision always looks beyond the present moment. Their very presence destabilizes negative energy because it cannot anticipate them. Just as lightning cannot be captured in a cage, Aquarius cannot be subdued, and this unpredictability alone makes them untouchable. One of the greatest gifts of Aquarius is their devotion to truth that serves the collective. While others may guard their light only for themselves, Aquarius expands it outward to everyone around them. Evil seeks to divide, but Aquarius seeks to unite. They carry within them the spark of equality, the belief that every soul has value, and this belief repels the energies of dominance and corruption. In their company, injustice feels exposed, lies feel fragile, and manipulation loses its foundation. Their mind is another source of protection. Aquarius thinks in ways that others cannot predict, and this intellectual brilliance creates a shield of clarity that darkness struggles to breach. Where evil relies on ignorance, Aquarius shines with awareness that illuminates new possibilities. They repel evil not through direct confrontation, but by rising to a higher frequency, one that darkness simply cannot reach. Their ideas, their visions, their insights are lightning bolts that strike fear into anything that clings to shadow. At the heart of Aquarius is freedom, not only personal freedom, but freedom given to others through inspiration and awakening. Their energy reminds us that evil has no lasting power over a spirit that refuses to be bound. They are the lightning in the storm, the wind that breaks chains, and the vision of a new dawn where truth and light reign. Evil may try to approach, but in the presence of Aquarius, it is struck down by a force greater than fear, the divine spark of liberation. As we arrive at the end of this sacred journey, it is time to reflect deeply on everything that has been unveiled. We walked through 7 signs chosen by the universe to repel evil with nothing more than their very energy. From the radiant fire of Leo to the mystery of Scorpio, from the pure clarity of Virgo to the ocean of compassion in Pisces, from the mountain of Capricorn to the soaring arrow of Sagittarius, and finally, to the lightning of Aquarius. Each of these 7 carries a unique frequency, a vibration that evil cannot endure, a shield that is not made of stone or iron but of spirit, faith, and light. But here is the truth that you must carry within your own heart. Whether your sign was among these 7 or not, you too have within you the divine spark that repels all forms of darkness. The stars reveal certain archetypes, but every soul has the capacity to awaken and to rise. Energy is not bound only to signs. It flows through intention, through courage, through the choice to stand in truth and not in fear. When you choose authenticity, when you choose love, when you choose light, even in the midst of shadow, you too become untouchable to what seeks to harm you. Remember that evil thrives where doubt is alive, where people forget who they truly are. But when you awaken to your divine essence, when you begin to walk as if your very presence is a temple, you become a fortress. No word, no gaze, no hidden agenda can shatter a soul that knows its own worth. Carry this with you. Every time you breathe with awareness, every time you act with kindness, every time you step forward with courage, you are already repelling darkness. You are proof that light does not need to fight. It simply shines, and where it shines, shadows flee. This is your empowerment. To know that your energy is more powerful than you ever imagined. To know that when you raise your vibration, you are not only protecting yourself, but also inspiring those who stand near you. The world is full of challenges, yes, but it is also full of opportunities to remember your true nature. Each trial is not here to break you. It is here to remind you of the strength you already carry. And in that reminder, you rise higher, brighter, and stronger than before. So let this message stay alive within you. Your authenticity is your shield. Your love is your armor. Your courage is your sword. The battle is not outside. The battle is within. And when you conquer yourself, no shadow can conquer you. Stand tall, walk in your truth, and let your light become the fire that guides others out of darkness. For in the end, what protects you is not only the stars, but the way you choose to embody their wisdom in your daily life. If this message touched your spirit, do not let it end here. Continue this journey of discovery, of empowerment, of awakening. Explore more of what the cosmos whispers to your soul. Watch the other videos on this channel, because each one carries seeds of light, guidance, and inspiration to awaken your true self. Let the wisdom of the stars continue to guide your steps, and let your journey never stop at one revelation, but expand endlessly to new horizons. And as we close this moment together, carry these words like a mantra. The brighter you shine, the smaller evil becomes. The stronger your faith, the weaker fear becomes. The truer you are, the freer the world becomes. May your path be filled with clarity, with compassion, with resilience, with freedom, and with endless light. This is not the end. It is only the beginning of your awakening.